Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Mondays with Marly. How are we doing? As you can tell, I am still on the mend from this nasty cold, but I am happy to be here with all of you today. It looks like I will be here all by myself today, so you just get little old me as everybody else is working on a bunch of different things. I decided, you know what, I'm just going to come on here and I am going to be your hostess with the mostest today as we talk about socks. We're going to talk about knit socks and crochet socks today. We will discuss some wonderful make-alongs that we have coming up, some patterns that we have available. We're going to talk about that bonus pattern that you got from the Game Day MVP package. If you did purchase that package, it is no longer available, but those of you who joined in already have the slippers that we're going to talk about in your Marly Bird house. If not, they are available for purchase on Ravelry, so you could grab those if you want. What else are we going to talk about today? I want to talk about any questions that you might have for me, and then just kind of hang out and have a good time. Sound like a good plan? So there is no lunch and learn today, so to speak, but we are going to talk a lot about socks. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, you know, why socks? Why socks all of a sudden? And the thing is, it's really not an all of a sudden thing for us. For both Robin and myself, we enjoy making socks. How many out there, raise of hands, do you love making socks? Like, I learned to make socks just so I learned to knit just so I could make socks. Like, I read a blog post by Stephanie Pearl McPhee, who has now become one of my acquaintance friends. And I read her post where she waxed on poetically about making socks. And even to this day, she has some great, like really thoughtful and beautiful ways to think about socks. And I remember reading that and thinking to myself, you can make socks? Like, it was totally this like obscure thing to me. Like, I could learn to make socks. And so I'm like, well, that was it for me. I was like, I'm going to learn to make socks. I'm going to learn to knit so I can make socks, because it didn't even occur to me to crochet socks. I was like, I've got to learn to knit so I can make socks. And that's what I did. So the whole premise that we've talked about before with my friend Lindsay of, you know, ignorance is bliss, and you don't know that what you don't know is supposed to be hard and you just jump into it. That's really where I was when it came to making socks. I just knew I wanted to do it. I didn't watch YouTube wasn't really around. I didn't watch anything. I went and bought a book from a store that was close to me called Showers of Flowers. And I bought a book, and then I went to buy some sock yarn. And the lady said, oh, this is the sock yarn that they used in the book. I was like, great. And I went home and I taught myself how to make socks. Not very well. I struggled. I had to go back to the store and get some help with turning the heel and doing short rows. I didn't understand what they were. But once I grasped what that was, I did finish the pair of socks on a pair of double pointed needles, and they were fantastic. And I have been a huge sock fan ever since. So I can see a lot of you here either make socks, want to make socks, enjoy like looking at socks. You're a little bit afraid of them. Gosh, you guys, we can do this for sure. Several years ago, when I first started, and it was right when Chic Sheep came out, I knew that people here online really wanted to make socks. And I know that making your first pair of socks, in my opinion, using a worsted weight yarn and like a pair of size 5 or even a size 4 double pointed needles is a really great way to step into it, because you're not super terrified of the really small yarn. So it was back in, I think, 2018, I did my course here on YouTube called the My First Socks course. And that was where we made top-down socks. It was over a 6-course period. And you learned everything you needed to make a pair of top-down socks, including how to avoid holes, how to do a heel turn, how to do a heel flap, how to do, ribbing, stockinette, the toe, like all the things. And it is still to this day one of my most popular videos here on YouTube. And because of that, I knew that I wanted to do a sock course inside of the Marly Bird house because I really do enjoy making socks and working through a sock recipe. And then fast forward a couple years, and everybody was asking me to make a course on toe up socks. And I was like, okay, well, I could do that. And I knew I wanted to do something with crochet socks too. So I asked my friend Ron Strong, who I absolutely adore and love. And just, I mean, he and I have been friends for years. I treasure him so much. And I asked him if he'd want to do it with me. And I paid him for his design and doing videos. And so you could catch my first toe up sock course where I actually did knit socks and crochet socks. And in that one, we learned Judy's Magic Cast On. We learned German short rows to do a different heel. Like we learned a whole bunch of different things. And so that was my second course. Of one of my staple courses inside of the Marly Bird house to be a crochet sock course. And if you don't know much about Robin, one thing you should know is that Robin is a amazing crochet sock designer. She actually taught Ron how to crochet socks. Robin is the one that introduced me to crochet socks. She is amazing. So when she and I were working together more and more and trying to fill up the Marly Bird house with content, I had told her my idea of wanting to do crochet socks, knowing how popular the course I did with Ron was. And so she came up with a course called Classic and Colorful Crochet Socks. And if you don't know what that is, let's go take a look at it. If you classic and colorful crochet socks.com, maybe I think that nope, didn't work. Let's go. I'm going to give you a link. There is a link in gosh darn it, hold on, marlybird.com. We're going to go to marlybird.com. I need to move this over. So I have purchased the URL Classic and Colorful Crochet Socks, but I never moved over like the sales page. So I need to do that. Right now, it is just still sitting on marlybird.com. I know you guys can't see everything yet. So just a second. Give me a second. So this is back in 2001. We put together this course. She came out here and she filmed all the courses, like all the material, had all the material put together, and I would edit the videos, and we had a great time. So I can't see you guys as I go through this, but this right here, this link, I'm going to put this link in the video description. Okay, guys. So make sure you bear with me. I will put it into the video description box of this video. So that way you can visit this link as well. But what you will notice, if you guys haven't already, is there is a coupon for this course also. And it's at the very bottom of the description box. But let's not digress too far. The Classic and Colorful Crochet Socks workshop is a course dedicated to crocheting socks, both toe up and top down. All different. Isn't that the greatest picture? I love that picture. But as you go through this, you can see all the different things that we talked about, and a lot of people what they are worried about when they are making socks. And we wanted to make sure that we could really help you, as it says here, with the secret sauce to socks. And we're sharing that recipe when it comes to making the right yarn choice, the right stitch choice, and when it comes to Robin Chichula. And so we put this whole course together inside the Marly Bird house for $40. It's a great series of tutorials. There's bonus material for how to clean your socks. There's darning, how to fix holes. I mean, there's just a plethora of information, a variety of sock patterns. As I said, all the tutorials, the video tutorials to go along with it all. It's all there. And if you use the coupon code SOCKS, SOCKS, you can get this course for 25% off. So I just clicked the button, right? I just clicked the button. So hopefully you guys are seeing, this is where you would go to purchase the course. So you could scroll down here and you can add on this stitch dictionary if you want, that goes along with all of the the socks in the course, right? And then right here, the discount is already applied if you use the word socks. And if you don't know where to put the coupon code, it's right down here underneath where it's the testimonial, says have a coupon, and you can click on that and you can see where it says socks. That's where I've typed in socks. So you can get all of that at a discount. So why am I telling you all of this? It's because I want you to understand that socks for us is more than just something we just came up with out of nowhere, right? It's something that has been ingrained in my own knitting journey, literally from the beginning. And it's something that Robin has been in love with all this time as well. Okay. So we love socks. Everybody good there so far? Woo, I'm gonna take do I have any water left? I don't know if I do. Okay. So what we have done is in preparation for this sock make along that we are going to do here at the end of February, early March. We we aren't sure yet if we're going to start like literally at the end of February or the first week of March. So that's why I don't give you a specific date yet. But in preparation for that, when I did the game day designs, I knew that I wanted to have a fun sock pattern as part of the MVP package. And so they're not the traditional socks in how you would normally make socks, but they are slippers. And they're slippers constructed in a way that's very similar to what we did for Turkey Trot 2021, I think. And I had a lot of fun doing them. So what I did was I took the stitch pattern from both the knit game day and the crochet game day, and I made slipper socks. Aren't they great? So you make the cuff first, then you work this portion right here. You work it flat, and then you pick up stitches around that flat portion. And for the knit one, you work in the round. For the crochet one, you work back and forth, and then you seam it up for both of them on the bottom. But this really fun sort of sock pattern using worsted weight yarn, and if you use the Herrschners worsted yarn, you have more than enough after you make your hat to make these slippers, no matter what size you're making. There's plenty of yarn. And so it was my sort of, I guess, subconscious way of saying, hey, you did this really great thing of game day with us. Look at these great slippers you can make. Why not take it a step further and let's learn to make socks together? And so what Robin and I have done with a collaboration with Lindsay from Erin Lane Bags, we put together the By Crafty Bestie box. And we sold that box in 3 different colorways. 2 of the colorways sold out. One of the other colorways nearly sold out, but we took it off, and it is available right now. I put it up. Lindsay has it up right now for purchase if you wanted to grab it right now before we jump into all this. Let me grab that link. I had it up here earlier, and then I forgot. But you could order the, let me see if I could just share this page, and then it'd be easier. So share. Okay, so you can order right here. This is the aromatherapy box. It's still available. It's the only one that's still available. We're shipping the boxes this week. Okay, so if you want to get this, you have to get it like now. Like it won't be available after today. But this is the aromatherapy box. But all of this is to say, we put together these boxes. It includes 3 different or 3 balls of yarn. 2 of them are the same color. One is your accent color. Has a sock bag, a wonderful keychain, some stitch markers, and then you get both the crochet pattern and the knit pattern that we will be using in the make along. Now, the make along, why is it when I stop sharing, it goes back to this view? I want it to where it's that view. Okay, I don't know why it keeps doing that. So the make along, it will be just a knit sock or just a crochet sock. But those of you who purchase the By Crafty Bestie box, you do get both socks included in your box. Okay. Now, each of the boxes had 2 different socks. That means there are 6 socks. There are 6 socks that we are going to be teaching during the make along. There are 3 knit and 3 crochet. And each one will have its own workshop inside the Marly Bird house. They are not going to be sold as a full set of 6 socks. Each one is going to be individualized. So you can purchase all 6 of them if you want. You could purchase 3 of them. You could purchase 2 of them. You could purchase 1 of them. Totally up to you, whatever it is. And this is a paid make along. So this is one of the very few times in the Marly Bird world that we are doing something as a strictly paid for event. And the reason all of this content is not getting included in like one big lump sum course is because the amount of information and content we are going to provide for each individual pattern is so robust that it works out better to have each pattern as its own workshop. Each of the socks that we are going to be teaching has its own unique construction. There's own unique parts to it that we can work with. And like there's top down, there's toe up, there is a heel flap, there is a tomato sweet tomato heel, there is a afterthought heel, there is a different types of toes, different types of stitch patterns, different types of cuffs. Like there's a bunch of different things that you can learn through all of this. And we are very happy that we're going to be doing this. Now you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Marly, so that's great. Like thanks for the 25% off coupon for Robin's sock course. That's great. I have it or I want it. That's fantastic. But where do I get all of these? Right? I don't want the By Crafty box. I've got enough yarn at home. I don't need the box. Okay. So you're like, so how do I get these patterns? They are coming. So we are going to put all of these up for purchase for the make along as soon as we ship out the boxes for the By Crafty Besties. So we don't want people to be able to get in and start getting any of the content before the By Crafty Bestie people get their boxes. And like I said, we're shipping those this week. So all of this, and Robin, I wish she were here so she could tell me. My best guess is that next week we'll be putting this up for sale. So you guys will be able to go in and pick and choose and be able to get your yarn and get everything ready to go. But that's what's going to happen with these socks. Sound cool? Yeah? Okay. You guys are excited about the slipper patterns. Like, aren't they fun? They're so fun. Can I just tell you how strange it is to take pictures of yourself wearing slippers and like I'm laying on the ground with my feet up on a ladder trying to take pictures. It's very interesting. It's a lot of fun to do. But I'm very excited about the socks and the make along that's coming along with the socks. And I'm excited about introducing all of you to the next Celebrate and Create challenge that we are doing for this coming month. So it is all about socks. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me see if I can, here we go. And it is showing up as mirrored for me. I don't know why it does that. Let me just check something really quick so that way I can make sure. There we go. Okay, now it's no longer mirrored for me and I can see it normally. So right here, this is the Celebrate and Create Challenge Cozy Knit socks, right? So where is it? I think it's over here. I want to make sure I have it pulled up on my screen. Here it is. Okay. So the Celebrate and Create Challenge, Cozy Knit and Crochet Socks and Slippers. As you know, the Celebrate and Create Challenge is a collaboration that I'm doing in conjunction with Herrschners. So Herrschners and Marly Bird are bringing you the opportunity to challenge yourself with different skills. The last one we did was all about the one ball wonders, right? One ball wonders. And we are, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry, I read something that Robin wrote. I'm like, what? One ball wonders. So all of you took the opportunity to grab a ball of yarn, whatever yarn it was, and make an item. And then you posted about it using hashtag one ball wonders. Can I tell you how excited Herrschners is with the participation in this. They have seen way more people join into something online for them than they've seen before. And it's very exciting for them to see all of you excited about the opportunity with the One Ball Wonders. Now, the One Ball Wonders, you can still join in. You can still submit all of your stuff. So it's not done yet. You can still submit all your stuff. And there is a grand prize coming out where we have a crochet pattern and a knit pattern that is a brand new one ball pattern from Robin and myself. And you will not only get that pattern, but you will get the yarn to make that pattern from Herrschners. So you get a chance to win prizes. But we want to introduce you to the brand new challenge that is here. So like I said, it's all about socks. So we put together an opportunity for you guys to check out some sock and slipper patterns that we have on our website. Maybe they're on Herrschner's website, and talk to you about some wonderful yarns that you can use and about the different things that usually come into making socks. One of the number one things I often get people to ask, how do I get a custom fit? How do I make it so that like my instep is a little bit bigger? What is the best heel for me to do that? What are some customization things we can do? Hey, that's awesome. And that's information that we're going to be able to provide during the make along. And I'm very excited about that. We're going to talk about different stitches, different colors, different textures, how those can be a perfect marriage with your socks, or they could be a hindrance with your sock pattern. Something you might not have ever thought about is maybe you're using a textured pattern, but you don't want it on the top of your foot, because if you wear your sock in your shoes, you're gonna have like some rubbing and stuff, right? You don't want to do that. Socks make great gifts, and they're a great use for leftover yarn. You could do scrap yarn and make a whole bunch of different socks. Now, I'm not going to read through all of this. Clearly, you can go through and read a bunch of the information that's here. But gauge does matter when it comes to socks, because you will want your socks to fit, right? And when you're doing a gauge for a sock, you clearly want to make a gauge in the round, especially if you're making those socks in the round. You might not know this, maybe you do, but especially for knitters, if you are working in stockinette stitch, if you're working in stockinette stitch that's back and forth. Hold on. No, it's all right. I'm going to tell Robin. Robin, you can. It's directing it. The 404 is redirecting it. I'll explain for afterwards. Okay, so gauge matters. If you are working in stockinette stitch, when you're working back and forth, knit and pearls tend to be a little bit bigger than your knits. So your gauge can be off. So when you're doing a gauge, you want to make sure that you are working in the round for that gauge. One thing that people will talk about is that they tend to get holes in their toes or their heels. And you can use a reinforcement thread or a nylon thread to get those areas reinforced for sure. For the different cast-ons, you could try Judy's Magic cast-on. If you're doing toe up, you can do foundation stitches for the cuff down. There's lots of different things you can do. Stitch markers will help you keep track of your increases and decreases. Some of the different yarns that they have over at Herrschners that you can try out that we wanted to point to, if you wanted to use yarn, especially that kind of does all the color work on their own, we have this Premier Fruits yarn. It has some fun colors, kind of going along with the theme of game day. You have the Herrschners MVP sock yarn right here. It has different colors of different sporting events. And then you have the Peyton's Croy sock yarn right here. It comes in solids, it comes in variegated, it's all sorts of different stuff. Willow yarns, you have this stripy sock yarn. This is really cool, a really simple way to use stockinette stitch and come up with stripy socks. And of course, if you click right here, you can go and check out all of the Herrschners yarns that they have available. You can use merino, you can use cotton, you can use worsted weight yarn. If you want to make socks that are a little bit thicker, that's totally fine. When you come down here, this is where you get to all of the different patterns that Robin has put together that feature some different yarns. Like you could see here, these are some yarns that come up with different patterning just with the basic yarn itself. And these are all crochet socks right here. This is a pattern that we have available over at marlybird.com also. We have knit socks, lots of different knit socks that you can try out, a lot of different ways of constructing those knit socks. And then when it comes to slippers, like I said, we have some slipper patterns that are on our website and over at Herrschners. This here was the turkey trot pattern that we did for 2021. And then the knit one, was right down here. This one right here is what we did. This one right here is similar construction, only it's brioche stitch. So if you're interested in working with some brioche stitch and getting a nice like squishy pair of slippers, that is a fun pattern for you to try out. Again, this is the classic and colorful crochet workshop that we talked about for crochet socks. If you use the coupon code SOCKS, you can get that for 25% off. And that coupon code is only good until Sunday night at midnight. So like, I think it's Sunday night, February 23rd at 11:59 is for the coupon code. You want to look at some friendly patterns. This is the toe up sock course that I was telling you about that I did with Ron Strong. So this was the knit socks, and this here, these are the crochet socks. If you have different sock yarn patterns that you want to try out with some scrap yarn for slippers and stuff, we have some other patterns here that you can try out. And then, of course, the Celebrate and Create Challenge. This is more details about this. And the deadline for this challenge is March 10th. These are the hashtags we're asking you to use for this particular challenge. So cozy socks and slippers is your hashtag on top of all of the other ones that we use, the Create and Celebrate, Craft with Herrschners, so on and so forth. And then if you tag me or Herrschners, that's always a great way. And then if you need to read any of the giveaway terms or privacy notice, you can read all of that down here. And I'm not showing you any of this because it's all on my face, isn't it? Yep. That's awesome. All of that is awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. That is not what I want. Remove. This is what I wanted you guys to look at. This is everything I just talked about. Go check it all out, please, so that I don't have to review it all. So sorry. This is what happens when I'm looking at a page and it blocks my screen for you guys, so I can't see. I can't see your stuff. I can't see your stuff. I'm so sorry. It's a real pain in the rear. Hopefully you guys can go check all of this out. So that is the Create and Celebrate and Create Challenge. Oh, okay. So are there any questions? I don't know why this is doing this again. There we go. Are there any questions? Teresa, yeah. So she's wondering when I was going to figure it out. So honestly, like the page I was looking at, it's covering this whole page. So I can't see any of your stuff. And so I don't know. Anyways, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. So are there any questions? Let's see if there are any questions here. And why am I excited for this knit along? Because you love socks. Because you love socks. I know you love socks. Is there a new hashtag for the socks challenge? Yes, it is. If I scroll back down and I can get it for you, I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. And I did put it in the video description as well. But it is, so you have the same hashtags of Create and Celebrate, and then hashtag Craft with Herrschners. Then you have hashtag Cozy Socks and Slippers. Cozy Socks and Slippers. All right. Does that sound good? Okay. How can I share other than on Instagram? You can share on Facebook as long as it's something, if you put it in my group, or you could put it in the Herrschners group. If you don't know, I could go on Facebook and I could do a search for a hashtag and it will pull up everything that is publicly made on there. So you can do that as well. Will the knitted socks just be on DPNs? So the top down socks will be on DPNs. The toe up socks will be on 2 circulars. And that is how I've written the patterns for those. Is the slipper make along a separate make along from the box? So there isn't a slipper make along. It is a knit. It's knit socks. And the socks are the same patterns that are in the boxes. So the people who purchase the box, they are getting those sock patterns. Okay, you posted a question further up, so I'm going to scroll up and see if I can find one. Do I need to purchase? No, you don't need to purchase sock holders. Knitted a pair of socks. Do I need to already know how to knit them? You don't need to already know how to knit them at all. I will be walking you through as if it's your first pair of socks. But I do always recommend that your very first pair of socks, I always recommend that it should be with thicker yarn than like actual sock weight yarn. That's my own teacher coming out of me. And no, you do not need sock holders or sock blockers. They're purely, I mean, honestly, they're just to make them look good. They don't do anything. I mean, yeah, you use them to block socks, but I do not block socks. Like they're just there to make them look pretty. Let's see here. Remind us when the sock cow starts. I was crazy and signed up for the sock madness that started yesterday. So we are going to start the sock at the end of February, early March. So I don't know if it will be the very end of February or the first week of March. That's why I haven't given you a set date yet. But that's the time frame that we're looking to do that in. A personal goal for me is to make all of the family socks for Christmas. This is perfect for me. Great. That is great. I purchased one of the awesome. So Mama Tucci, I would honestly, and I'll say this in the videos too, and all the courses, I will be showing you how to make these socks using worsted weight yarn. And I will, always recommend to people, if you're uncomfortable with the small yarn and the small needles to start with, always just try it out with the worsted weight and give it a whirl so that you can be a little bit more comfortable with it for sure. Can you use Chagu's small circles made for socks? Nancy, you can, but I will not be demonstrating how to do that in this series. So if you're comfortable with those, you understand how to make socks, you can do that, but I will not be making any sort of alterations in the videos or the pattern instructions to accommodate that. It is so much easier to understand how to turn a sock in worsted weight than in sock yarn. Carla, that's what I think. I mean, like I said, I made my very first pair of socks with sock yarn, so it can be done. Having said that, do I wish I had made my first pair using worsted weight and some bigger needles so I could understand what I was doing a little bit better and get a little bit more of an instant sense of gratification? Absolutely. Absolutely do. Perfect. Yes, so we are shipping the boxes this week. Deborah, my 2025 goal is to make a sock every week. Wow. I finished last week's sock right now. This make along sure help with that. Yes, you can do. That's a big goal. That's a big goal. Julia, the slippers are a bonus pattern for game day. Yes, if you purchase, they're not a free one. You're exactly right, Julia. So these 2 sock patterns were the bonus pattern for the game day MVP package. They are available for purchase in Ravelry right now if you want to get them. They're $8. Each one is $8. And so you can go get them if you did not have them in the VIP. Totally up to you. Are the boxes worsted weight or can I still buy the box? The box is fingering weight. And the only box available is the aromatherapy box. And as of right now, I think you could buy it right now, but there is no guarantee that it will be available there for long. And I'm pretty sure she just has it up for like right now. So if you want to give it a try, you can go get those. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Lots of talking here. How many of you, I mean, there's a lot of you in here that have talked about making socks before. And I know there's quite a few of you that are afraid of using double pointed needles. And I honestly, I don't understand why. They are not that hard. And for many years, that's all that knitters had. They did not have circular needles. They did not have, um, uh, flexi flips or anything like that. They use double points, and not just for socks, like for sweaters and stuff. So double points are very, very versatile, and using them, if you're using them and keeping your stitches nice and snug and following my directions for making sure transitioning from one needle to the next, you won't have any problem with stitches falling off the needle or having, a run in your needles, like a run in your stockings. Like they're not difficult to do at all. And they're a lot of fun to do. And depending on like what kind of needles you go for, one thing that I do talk about in the course is when you're choosing your double points, I do like to choose ones that have a very sharp tip or a precision tip. I find them easier to get into stitches, especially when I have to like pick up and knit stitches or do a decrease of stitches. And so I like them a lot for that reason. This here, you guys, this is a double pointed needle roll case by Erin Lane Bags, and it's absolutely fantastic. You can see here, you roll it up, and in here, there is a magnet right here, and there's a magnet down here. And what you do is you wrap it around, and the magnet down here matches the one that's on the other side. And then you pull and it tightens up. So the magnet on this slides. So it tightens up so that your DP end roll is whatever size it needs to be, however thick it needs to be. It's one of my favorite things ever from Lindsay. So if you're ever interested, go check out her double pointed needle bags. Let me see if I can, double pointed needle. Let me see if I can get her needle cases. Looks like she has one in cat butts right now. They are, I love her needle cases. I think they're fun. And I will just share this in the chat so you guys can see it. And maybe if you guys are interested in those, you could always let her know. Maybe she could make some up and have those available for all of you to check out. Okay. Anything else I am missing right now? I'm trying to make sure I'm catching all the things. When it comes to the best tools and whatnot for knitting and crochet, I just talked to you about the double pointed needles. I do like to make sure I have a more precision point. Same thing when I'm working with circular needles. I like them to be a little bit pointier. I'm not a big fan of wood needles, but I know that wood needles tend to grab your yarn a little bit better, and there are people who enjoy wood needles. So that is something you could use if you are looking to have some needles that grab at your yarn a little bit more. When it comes to crochet, just about, any needle that's going to help you get the correct gauge, those are the good ones to choose. I do like a needle that has a little bit more of a point at the tip, like the Susan Bates. They have a little bit more of a point at the tip, just to get into stitches and stuff. It's something that I prefer, but that's definitely not for everybody. So you could use whatever works well for you. For the upcoming sock make along, we will be sure to mention all of the information possible here on the podcast. We'll put it in a blog post. We'll also send out a newsletter. So if you guys are part of the newsletter, that is great. The challenge with Herrschners, like I said, you could start putting that stuff together and making socks. Bonus points if you use sock yarn that Herrschners sells. Clearly, Herrschners has been around for 125 years. They know what they're doing when it comes to delivering yarn content to all of you. And they have more than just yarn. You should go check it out sometime. They have fabric, they have like diamond art, they have a bunch of different things. But with, sadly, the closure of many Joann stores, 500 of them to be precise, and many people struggling to figure out where they're going to get their yarn from, Herrschners is a really great choice. So if you get a chance, go check out Herrschners. Look at all the different yarns they have available. Look beyond just the sock yarn. Look at the Herrschners worsted. I told you I love the Heathers. And then they have a lot of Lion Brand or Red Heart yarns you can try out as well. And you can trust in the fact that they know what they're doing when it comes to delivery. They deliver every day of the week, not on weekends. I think they're closed on the weekends, but they have a whole shipping service there, and they really are fantastic, and they are they're wonderful to work with. They're wonderful to work with. We did talk about the Cozy Knit and Crochet Socks and Slippers blog post, so you could check all that out. And we did talk about the hashtags. Don't forget hashtag Cozy Socks and Slippers. Now let's talk about a giveaway. We've talked before that with the Mondays with Marly, if you post with that and a picture, we will give you a pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and go and check it out. And I know that last week we talked about the whips. And the problem here is I don't know where everybody's posting about their whips. Like, so many people have posted their works in progress that they have done. And so Tonya, I don't think so. No, because the Tonya's asking if the bingo link will work for the new slippers. Usually no, usually it's for older patterns, nothing new. And that's why that works or doesn't work. Lost my train of thought. I don't know where to look for the whip stuff. I did go to the comments of the last video, and a lot of people, you guys were enjoying the sausage story, and you were saying that you have deadlines for other things that you're working on, and that you have done a lot of mosaic before, that you've never done mosaic before. And then a lovely person just told me that the 60-second countdown is a waste of time, and that's fine. You can think so. It gives me an opportunity to get everything put together for those 60 seconds. And when you're catching the replay, it's easy to fast forward. So hopefully you're able to function here on YouTube and get forward past those 60 seconds, and it's not a problem for you. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to take a look over in Facebook this time around, and I'm going to do a search for the Mondays with Marly over here on Facebook. So if you give me just a second, hashtag, let me go hashtag Mondays with Marly as it pulls up, and let me see if I can share this screen. Now, I can't see you guys again, so hopefully you can see this. So we are going to just scroll through. You can see here we have Mondays with Marly is coming up, hashtag Mondays with Marly. And I'm just going to scroll through. And let's just see if we can pick a level. Oh, look at that. That is a cute one. That is so adorable. I love this. Oh, I love it when you guys show what it's going on when you're there. Look at who is this? Mindy Adams. That is adorable. I love that. Oh, this is awesome. The one that we did with Caitlin, and you're showing us your lovely. Oh, this is fantastic. Adele, you're going to be the lucky winner today. I have no idea who I picked last time. Hopefully it wasn't Adele. I have no idea. But Adele Perlman, you're going to be the lucky winner for the Mondays with Marly. So please send us a message at contact@marlybird.com. Winner, chicken dinner. Please send us an email to claim your free pattern. And then it's contact@marlybird.com. Awesome. So congratulations there. Yeah, very cool. I love that. I love seeing what you guys, what it looks like as you guys are working on stuff. Awesome. Oh, Mindy says Dobby never misses a Mondays. That's so cute. I love that. That's adorable. So Adele, congratulations. All right, guys. So I think Robin had to step away because she's not telling me where to look for the whip. So I'm going to put a pin in that. And so next week I will have you guys, I'll pick somebody who's working on their whip. Let's do this. Let's make it, if you guys can share with me your works in progress. What are you working on? What is something that you've been working on for a while? Let's post about it in the Minions group, and then it'll be easier for me to find it in there. And let's use a hashtag so that we can, because I can easily find it then. Let's do hashtag whip. I don't want to say whip Marly. That sounds terrible. um, gosh, Craig, I would use Whip Wednesday, but it's not a Wednesday. Anybody have any suggestions on what hashtag we could use to make sure that we're I can easily find it? Unless you want to use Whip Marly, WIPMARLY. Okay, that's what we're going to use because that's it. We're going to use hashtag WIPMARLY, Whip Marly. And that's what you will use inside of the Minions group, and I'll be able to look and find your whips. I'll pick a couple winners of people who are working on their whips, and we'll share it on here, and you'll win a couple of free patterns on there if that's okay. Yeah, Whip Marly, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. People would be like, what is happening? What is happening? What is going on with this Mondays with Marly thing? Anyways, okay, so I think I have covered everything when it comes to the socks, the slippers that were the bonus pattern, the challenge that's coming up. We have the make along coming up. Are there any other questions that you guys happen to have for me right now that I could answer some questions? I did see a question earlier asking me about working with Red Heart. And you are correct. I no longer work with Yarnspirations. That the contract was not renewed in the end of January. And a big part of that was because of the Joanne closure. So there was, I got stuff all over with me. There was a hiring freeze. And I got caught up in it because we were up for contract renewal negotiations. And when everything happened with the Joanne bankruptcy, Yarnspirations had a hiring freeze. And so they could not renew my contract. So no, I am no longer working with Yarns. Nothing nefarious, nothing bad happened. No ill will. It's just it is what it is, and it's absolutely okay. We are going on and moving forward for sure. Let's see. Here's a question. Is the blog post the same as the sock course in the description box? So in the description box, that's the blog post that we're talking about socks. The sock course will not be up yet. Or the sock, if you're talking about the crochet, classic and colorful crochet socks, that's literally at the bottom of the post. But as far as the make along, that information is not up there yet. Let's see here. Have you ever used Flexi Flip DPNs, or do you have a brand I prefer? So Andy, that is a great question, and I'm going to answer your question, Andy, and you get a free pattern for that. So make sure you reach out to contact@marlybird.com. I have used Flexi Flips. I do not dislike them. They remind me a lot of using two circulars. So I enjoy using them when I'm doing things that are toe up with that I normally would use two circulars. I do not dislike them. They are not my go-to by any means. They're probably the on my list of 4-5 styles I could go for. They're probably third. And so, yeah, I don't mind them. And I think that any tool you can use that can help you achieve the look and goal that you're going for, that's what you should use. I truly believe in DPNs. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. Obviously, they don't sell signature DPNs anymore because those were my favorite. I do like Collage Precision Point DPNs. They're like the shape, they're like square shape. I like those a lot. I like the Chowgu. I like Haya Haya. I have some Addy DPNs, but they aren't pointy enough for me, I don't think. But those are really my go-to DPNs for sure. Jet One, yes, at the very bottom of the description box, that's the link to the Classic and Colorful Crochet Socks workshop. And that code for 25% off is socks with an S at the end. Michelle Hamilton, not at this time. I am not planning on doing a video for that at this time. That could change in the future, but right now, no, there is no video to help with those socks. Let's see here. Andy, yeah, no problem answering that question. Hopefully that helps for sure. Any other questions from anybody? We have a couple more minutes here. All right. I think you guys are good. I think you guys have a lot of things on your plate also. Can you believe we are at the, we're in the middle of February? Like, that just seems unreal. It's going by so fast. But the good news is we've made it through game day. We're on our way to making some socks. And then next up is the Tournament of Stitches. That is right around the corner, because the sock make-along will only be over a weekend. It's just a weekend make-along time frame. So it's not a long, drawn-out process. Everything you need will be given to you, and you'll be able to tackle the socks over the weekend time frame. And then we'll be ready to jump into a Tournament of Stitches. And it's going to be a bunch of fun times. Jennifer, yes, if you purchase the sock course, it's in the birdhouse. That would be both the classic and colorful socks and the future make-along sock course or sock workshop. So the classic and colorful socks, that is inside the birdhouse. And then when we put each of these patterns up, they're also going to be inside the birdhouse. So all the content is going to be inside the birdhouse. Let's see here. I got some needle cases at the DFW conference, and they are great. Muncie, they are absolutely fantastic. They're one of my favorites. Central Avenue Pharmacy, you mentioned in one of your bestie videos that you use a different size DPN than circular when you knit. Which way did it go? Not sure what you mean. So when I was working on these socks, when I wrote the pattern for DPNs. And so my DPN gauge is tighter than my circular needle gauge. My circular needle gauge is a little bit looser. You can see here, they're a little bit looser. And these ones here. So when I give you the gauge and it's with a circular or a DPN, that's literally, I'm giving you the gauge of what I got with the tool that I used. So you get to choose whatever tool that works for you to get the same gauge. So you can use whatever works for you. Let's see here. I think that answers all the questions. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave me a note in the comments below. I love seeing your comments. They are a lot of fun. I'm really hoping this cough and everything will go away by the time next week rolls around. I'm definitely on the mend. I'm on the mend. It's just not 100% at all yet, but hopefully we will get there. That's going to be it for me today, everybody. Please stay tuned. If you make these slippers from the game day, be sure to share with us on social media. I would love to see them. Didn't mean to do that. They're a lot of fun to make, and you can make them in no time. They don't take very long. I will tell you, if you make the crochet ones, you do have to cut the yarn every single row, so you do have a lot of ends to weave in, but it's not that bad. You can get it done. Don't let that stop you. All right, everybody, that's it for me. I will talk to you again very soon. I'm Marly Bird, your buddy Crafty Bestie, and I'll see you next Monday.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.